Hey there drone fans, Rick here again from Drone Valley. I just got back from the DJI event in New York City a little while ago, and it's been a very busy morning. I wanted to take a few minutes and put a short clip together to give you my observations from the show and talk about the quad that was released and some of the specifications, and also give you a little bit of insight into why I think DJI came out with this particular quad at this particular time. Now, the event itself was fantastic. They hosted it in a section of the Grand Central Terminal, which is an iconic building in New York City, and it went through renovations a couple of years ago, but it's a beautiful space. They've got high vaulted ceilings and marble accents, just a terrific place to have an event like this. And the event itself was just well organized, and they were ready for the crowds. And honestly, when you put that many nerds into a tiny little place, there's bound to be trouble. There wasn't a single problem. There was room for everybody. They had hors d'oeuvres. Security was there. It was just fantastic. And it was from a single stage that they held the event, and Michael Perry did the entire presentation. And I didn't see any teleprompter, so I think he did it all from just memory. I think he just loves this quad. He's been flying with it for a while. And I thought he did an exceptionally good job of covering all the nuance of the technical details, which is really easy stuff to trip over if you've ever had to do a technical presentation. But beyond that, he really conveyed why they designed this quad, why it's different, and really the genesis behind why they came up with this particular product. Now, if you haven't heard by now, the quad is called the Spark, and that shouldn't be a big surprise. There's been all kinds of leaks and sort of rumors around for months, and there's been tons of channels doing speculation on it. I was going to do a speculation video where I predicted what I thought it was going to be, and I held off because I really didn't want to sort of just be out there throwing things out, even though I had a pretty good feel from all the engineering they did on the other quads of where this might go, like a natural progression. And boy, am I glad I didn't do that clip, because everything I would have told you would have fell far short from what actually happened with the quad. So everything I thought it would do, it's 1.5 to 2 times better than I thought it would be. So I have to say, before I get too deep into it, this quad is a revolutionary quad in so many different ways. And it's not so much the technology that's revolutionary, even though that's amazing. It's what market this is going to fit, and how they really sat back and thought about the consumer and what the consumer was looking for. And this quad has got it in spades. All right, so the quad itself, it's called the Spark. And again, shouldn't be a big surprise. The quad itself is smaller than the Mavic. It's got non-folding arms, so it's a rigid quad, and it's 4 propellers. It's got a removable battery. It'll fly for 16 minutes on a single battery. I would have said 10 minutes. That's what I was going to predict. So 16 minutes is pretty impressive. The battery's pretty big. It's a 1480 milliampere hour battery. You can charge it in the quad, which is something new for them. So you can actually leave it in the quad. If you're in your car, you can plug in a micro USB cable to the back, plug it into your 12-volt adapter, and charge the thing when you're driving. You can also pull the battery out and charge it individually, or you can get a charging bank where it'll charge 3 batteries together. The quad itself is light. It's 300 grams. Now, that's interesting, because I thought for sure with the 250 gram limit in Canada and other places, I thought they'd try to get it under the 250, but 300 grams is pretty close. Even though it's over the 250, it's still a fairly light quad. It's incredibly sophisticated from a geo-positioning perspective. It's got GPS and GLONASS, which when you look at the size of this thing, it's about the size of a can of soda. How do you pack all that stuff in there? Like, I get it in the Phantom 4. I even get it to a certain extent in the Mavic, but then how do you shrink it down even further and build in all the sophistication of telemetry and the GPS and the GLONASS, the crash avoidance that's got built in it? I just think, again, from an engineering perspective, this is a marvel of engineering. All right, so back to the specs. They're going to offer it in multiple colors. You can kind of see where we're going with this quad already. So I think there's 4 or 5 different colors. It's white, it's blue, it's green, it's red. I think there may be an orange in there, but there's 5 or 6 different colors available. And that's kind of nice because you can personalize it, right? In addition to that, it's not just a Wi-Fi quad, which I thought, if it's going to be sort of a selfie quad where you put it up and it's really designed to take pictures of you and family and friends, that it would fly 100 feet, 200 feet, that'd be plenty. But it actually has both the 2.4 gigahertz and the 5.8 gigahertz banding in there if you use the remote. You can fly it from your phone over Wi-Fi, and if you use the Wi-Fi, it's only going to go 100 yards. So that's pretty far. I mean, 100 yards is quite a ways away, but the astounding part is if you use the remote, which looks a lot like the Mavic Pro remote, you can go 1.2 miles with this thing. So again, mind blown. I couldn't get over it. So 1.2 miles with flight. It's got 3 ways you can fly it. You can use the remote, you can use a phone, or you can fly it by gesture. And this is where it starts to get into the wizardry of what they've built into it. So let me talk about why they built it, okay? So I spent some time with Michael Perry after the show. He was very gracious to give me time to do an interview. I also did an interview with Adam Lisberg as well, who's a marketing manager. And I'll put those in a separate clip and run those separately because I asked him some pretty hard questions there. But when I got a chance to talk to Michael off stage, what he related to me was that they really sat back and thought about why people put quads up. Now, nerds like me fly quads for a lot of different reasons, just like you guys do. I love flying, I love piloting, I love the remote control of it. I also like the aerial photography of it, but let's be honest, if we're gonna put a Phantom 4 up in the air, or even a Mavic up in the air, there's a lot of premeditation involved, right? So there's not a lot of spontaneity in me saying, hey, let's get a picture of the family, hold on a second, and I gotta spend 5 minutes going through a pre-flight and put it up in the air and then get that perfect shot. It's not spontaneous. This is designed to be spontaneous. So this quad boots up quickly, launches from your hand, and there's a bunch of automation built into it where you don't have to worry about flying it to get the perfect shot. And I'll get into that in a second, but what they tried to do is to build a quad that took all the pain and all the forethought out of putting a quad in the air to get that picture. They designed this to be essentially a flying camera, a very simple to operate flying camera. But also, you can make it a sophisticated quad, because if you use the remote, I can fly it all over and I can go 1.2 miles with it. So it's kind of the best of both worlds. But in a very simple way, for people that don't fly quads, you could buy this thing, charge it up, put it up in the air, and hit one of the buttons and have it do magical shots from the air of you, your friends. It'll follow you, and I'll get into those remote features later. All right, so in addition to that, let's talk about the camera. So one of the things people were moaning about before it came out was, the gimbal's only a 2-axis gimbal. That stinks. Why isn't it a 3-axis gimbal? A 2-axis stabilized gimbal, mechanically stabilized gimbal, which is what's in this quad, is plenty for the kind of photos you're going to be taking with it. Again, you're probably not buying this to go out and take real estate photos, or you're doing professional photography with it, because the camera, again, only shoots 1080p, which is plenty fine for selfie pictures and pictures of the family, or even pictures of nature, around you. But it's a 2-axis gimbal, but it's also mechanically stabilized, and it's digitally stabilized as well. So it gives you an ultra smooth picture. It's just a fantastic picture from the quad. Now again, I don't have it in my hands yet. I wasn't one of the lucky few like Casey or the guy from the iPhone Do channel who got theirs early. I'll be waiting for mine just like you're waiting for yours if you pre-ordered it. Once I get it, I'll do like I always do, a hands-on comparison against the Phantom and the Mavic, and even other quads in the class like the Dobby or the Breeze, the Unique Breeze, to give you a feel of how it compares to those two. But back to the gimbal, I think people make too much noise about that. I think a 2-axis gimbal is fine, plenty of stabilized photography there. And again, if you think back to why you're using it, why you're buying this particular quad, it's a selfie quad. You want to put it up and immediately capture those beautiful moments that you would have missed if you tried to put a more complicated quad up in the air. All right, so in addition to that, it'll shoot a 12 megapixel picture. It'll shoot 1080p at 24 frames per second, I believe. It'll also do 24 MIP, sorry. It'll also do profile recognition. So when you put this thing up, it's going to recognize you as a person and sort of profile you. So it'll do follow me mode. It'll do circle mode. So you can actually, there's 4 new modes, and I'll talk about those in a second. They're called quick modes or quick shot modes. The field of view in this thing is 82 degrees, so 81.9 degrees, which means you've got a really wide field of view, so you don't have to squeeze in together to get that perfect selfie shot. They really thought of everything. So they designed this to be just a friendly flying camera, which is really the way I would describe it to most people. And as soon as I got it from the show, I had tons of emails from friends of mine that haven't bought quads yet that have said, you know what, we've been waiting. We really wanted a quad that was easy to fly, that wasn't a hassle, that we could take with us anywhere, put it up in the air and just have it take video of my family and my friends, or we're on a hike to follow me around, and this is the quad we're going to buy. So from a target market perspective, they nailed it with that particular target market, and I think this is going to be a monster for them. As popular as the Phantom 4 was and the Mavic was, I think this thing is going to rock all the sales. I really believe it's a revolutionary quad. All right, so from the software perspective, so they built in 4 modes that are called quick shot modes. They've got Rocket, Droney, Circle, and Helix. Now Rocket is the shot where, and if you've flown a quad, you've probably done all these shots, but Rocket's the shot where it basically points down and shoots straight up in the air. So it's that dramatic shot of coming up and revealing the landscape around you. Very cool shot. The Droney shot is a similar shot, but it's away from you. So the quad would start near you and fly away from you and elevate at the same time. So it's that dramatic sort of reveal, if you will, of you and the stuff behind you. Very cool shot. And these are automatic. You just basically hit it, quad takes off and takes the picture. Then the circle shot is the standard circle shot. You basically pick a point and it'll fly around that point and keep the camera focused on that person. So I guess if you're doing real estate photography, you could point it at a house and have it fly around the house and do the photos for you, or do the movie for you. The last one though, which was my favorite, is called Helix. Now Helix is sort of a circle shot, but it's an expanding circle. So it starts off a little tight and then it eventually expands bigger, but the whole time it's keeping the camera on you. And if you watch the live stream, it's just incredibly cool to see that thing take a picture of you and then pull back and spin at the same time. And if you've flown for a while, that's a tricky shot to get. So the fact that they built these quick shots in there means that the average person can pick up their phone, put the quad in the air, hit a button, and have it make these magnificent shots happen. Once you have that footage, they've also modified the DJI Go 4 application to build in all kinds of video editing software that's extremely easy to use. So in there they've got one mode where it does shallow depth of field, I believe, where it's going to actually bring the focus of what you're shooting out and blur the rest of it. It's like a very sophisticated look to it. It really makes that image pop. They've also got automation software built in where all you do is expose it to a particular clip you've shot. The software will go through and pick the best spots of that clip, and it'll sew them together and produce a really quick clip that you can send to your friends over Instagram or any of the social media platforms you use. So, and again, there's a lot to unpack here, so I'm going to spend the next couple of weeks going through this and take my time and go through it. But I wanted to give you just the sense of excitement around, yet again, DJI, who constantly shocks me with the stuff they come out, because to go from a Phantom to a Mavic, what the hell? To go from a Mavic to this product, to shrink it down as small as they did and still keep the GLONASS geo positioning in it, the camera in it, the stabilized gimbal in it, the distance, the 1.2 mile distance in it, and the fact that you can feed a live feedback at high quality, it's just like nothing else like it on the planet today. And I don't want to say this to sound offensive to other companies, but I said it in the tweet today too. For DJI, this was a mic drop as far as the selfie drones go. There's nothing out there like this. There is absolutely nothing out there like this. Maybe a little more expensive than the other guys, but you're buying a quad that is unlike anything else in this category. So for my first impression, completely blown away by this technology. And what's interesting is Adam Lisberg told me, he said, we're gonna knock your socks off at this event. Socks are knocked off. I was just that impressed by it. So I'll spend some time going through it. If you haven't bought one already and you're going to go buy one, there's a link below. If you use the link, we get a little credit for it. So if you decide to support the channel by using that, do that. But I recommend you go there and check it out. They are on pre-sale right now, and I think there's some different colors that are maybe sold out, or there's some that are still available. And again, I don't know what it's going to be like when you go there and check it, but use the links below and you can go see what they've got. I think it's a cool quad, and I just can't wait to get my hands on it to do comparisons with other quads that we've looked at. So anyway, that's it for today. Stay tuned, because I'm going to come back and do a lot more reviews, and I'm going to, again, when I get a hold of it, as I always do, I'm going to bust it open and compare it to other quads out there, give you the Drone Valley review that I do on all the stuff we look at. But that's pretty much it for today. So thanks an awful lot for watching. I hope you find value in these clips. I am incredibly excited about this particular product and can't wait to get my hands on it. So thanks again for watching. Happy flying.